Now, I joined the Army in December 1942. I was 18 years of age.
What did your mom and all think when you joined the Army?
Well, they were concerned, like any parent was, you know, they were wondering what was going on. I went from there to Fort Dix, New Jersey. And I probably was there about 30 days or so. And then I left from there, and they sent us down to Atlantic City temporarily. And then I was sent to Camp Crowder, Missouri.
You left Bayonne, New Jersey and went to Fort Dix. How did you feel? Was it scary? Were any of your friends with you?
Actually, I met some people in there that were from Bayonne.
Uh-huh.
So and John McKenna went over there joined up with me, so he was there too.
He was at Fort Dix with you?
Yeah, about.
So when you got to Fort Dix, what did they do? What was the first thing they did to you guys?
They fed us.
They fed us. Was the food good?
That was it.
Do you remember what the food was like?
No, it was the first time when I had, what was it? Some kind of cake, I don't know. It was pretty good though, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they gave us shots and gave us physicals and brought us up to date before we shipped out so that we were all set to go.
But up to date on your shots?
On everything.
Uh-huh.
Clothing and shots and whatever medical treatment we had to have, it was all taken care of before we went.
Did you have to sleep in the barracks with all the other guys and all that? So that had to be different.
There's 48 people in the barracks.
So what was that like, going from your house to sleeping in a barracks with 48
You get used to it. Everybody was in the same boat, so they more or less stuck together pretty well.
Mm-hmm. It
And
wasn't...
that was all. That was the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
We went to Atlantic City, and in Atlantic City we went to Fort Dix, or to Camp Crowder.
Is that when they did the basic training where you learned how to shoot
Yeah,
a
we had
gun?
the basic training, then we went to what they call an air raid warning school.
Uh-huh.
So we did that, plus the basic training, and that kind of thing.
What was air raid warning school?
Well, it was like if you were having an attack or something like that, they had it set up so that you could read the attack and warn people. That's why it was called an air raid warning system.
So you had to learn to read something like code or something, special code that came in?
The code?
Yeah. What did you have to learn to read to?
Oh, I didn't have to. We had everything. We read maps.
Oh, okay.
There was no code.
Mm-hmm. Just read the maps and told people where to go.
It came over on like a telephone system, and then you plot it, made a plot, and you plot the aircraft that was coming in, and then you warn people that the plane was wherever it was in the area. I got transferred out of there then, and I went to Florida, and after Florida, then I got stationed over here at Jacksonville.
And what did you do? What did you do in Jacksonville? What were they training
Well,
you
just
to
training, regular training, Army training.
Was that the first time you ever held a gun and shot a gun and all that kind of stuff?
Well, the gun we did was right down here at Camp Landing.
Mm-hmm.
We went there for our gun training.
Was that the first time you held a gun and shot a gun?
Yeah. Well, after I got doing my thing with the weapon, then they put me down into pulling targets.
What's pulling target?
Well, the guys would shoot at it, and you mark the target, right? You were down in like a, I don't know, like
a ditch?
A ditch, and the bullets would be going over your head like that.
That's kind of scary.
It wasn't that bad. The only time we was scared when they missed the target and hit the top of the ditch, and then the dirt would fly.
Yeah,
but we were still safe enough down there that you couldn't get hurt unless you stood up.
How long were you in Jacksonville?
I wasn't there very long, and then we went to overseas. We went to Camp Shanks, New York, and that's where we picked the boat up to go overseas. The name of the ship was His Majesty's Ship the Andes, which I understand later on was sunk off the coast of North Africa. The boat didn't go into Ireland, but we went into Liverpool.
England.
And then we got off the ship in Liverpool, and then they sent us to Ireland. We got on a train, and we got on a kind of a ferry that took us to Ireland from England.
Mm-hmm. And what was it like when you got there?
Oh, it was pretty nice there. It was nothing going on because we were living in these Nissen huts. So everything was pretty well. They were gathering things together. It was before D-Day.
So what was a typical day like?
Well, whatever time you got up was real early, and then whatever the deal was for the day, you did it.
So, because when you were in Ireland, you said you were there like a year. So what did you guys do all day?
Well, I said a year. I don't think I was there a year, to tell you the truth. I don't remember.
Were you just training every day, like marching and?
Yeah, typical army. Whatever you had to do in the army, that's
So
right.
I don't know what typical army is. I know you march and you run opposite scary.
In England,
I
when
would
the
think
buzz
it's-
bombs used to come, they used to come late at night and early in the morning. And they were not too far from where we were stationed.
So
We used to see them all the time. They'd hit, and boy, they really shake the whole area. One time I was watching in the sky, and a British plane came, and the buzz bomb was coming like this, and he came close and tipped it and turned it right around.
Really? What was it? Was it kind of like coming towards you? Your guys?
No, all
Your
the buzz
area.
bombs were headed for London.
Mm-hmm.
And those that fell short fell into our area where we were. It was in that path. And those that fell short, we got them.
What's a buzz bomb? I don't know what a buzz bomb is. It's not a bomb being dropped from a plane.
No, it looks like a bomb, okay, but it's got a funnel on top of it, and it's got a motor that drives it, and it's on a gyro. And the Germans used to set it up so it would go like to London. But if they ran out of fuel or it would drop or whatever, for whatever reason, it would drop mostly in our area.
And the plane, he just went right up and tipped it so that it didn't.
That was only the first time I ever seen that.
That must have been kind of interesting to see.
But that was an English pilot did that.
So what did you guys have to do when the buzz bombs were coming? Did you have to go into the air raid shelters?
No, we just stayed. What could you do? Where could you go?
I don't know. Because like they had air raid shelters.
You just watched to see when it dropped, and then if it wasn't in your area, we're lucky. That's all.
Did it ever hit like where you guys were and destroy any?
One hit about 10 miles away from us,
Mm-hmm.
and it really shook the place up.
What about D-Day? Didn't you almost go to D-Day or one of those days?
We were we went into France 30 no, what the heck was it? 30 days after D-Day we went in.
Okay.
They flew us in.
Where were you when D-Day happened?
England.
England? Did you guys, what was going on? Did you know something was happening?
Well, at that time, I told you we were supposed to go to Russia.
Uh-huh.
We weren't concerned with any D-Day or anything like that. We were getting all set to go to Russia.
Were
We
there
got
any-
all our equipment and everything, and for some reason they canceled it. I think the American government did that as to kind of confuse the Germans.
So, did you guys have any, like, even rumors of some kind of D-Day attack or some kind of attack in Normandy? Did you guys know
No.
anything about it? So, when you found out about D-Day, how did you guys find out about D-Day?
Just heard that, like any time you hear things. So I don't know where we heard it.
What was it like when you guys heard about it? Did you really think it was the beginning of the end?
Well,
I
we
mean,
were
was it a
concerned
good
about the
feeling,
guys
like-
that were going in there.
But was it like a good feeling, like, yay, this is the beginning of the end, and, we're
Well,
going to lick the Germans now?
Everybody was for it. They wanted to get things over. That was
Mhm.
the main thing. One of the guys that I knew from the street in Bayonne, he was in the Rangers. He got killed in there. He was a nice guy, Dave Brogner. You ever hear him when they told about these guys that were climbing a cliff? Well, he was one of those guys. He got killed then.
Really? Wow. Did you get to see your family while you were in basic training and when you went to Jacksonville?
No.
Did they write you letters?
Well, they wrote letters, but it was hard to get the letters delivered because it came into what they called an APL, which is an Army Post Office.
Mm-hmm.
And depending where you were, you got an Army Post Office number, and it said mine was 639. Now that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to get mail from different people, Aunt Jenny and my mother, and Mrs. Kane used to write to me.
Uh-huh.
People like that I knew. Friends, mostly friends. Aunt Jenny sent me a whole chicken one time and she put it in a jar. And that was in France when I got it. And when I opened it up, the guys that were there, they grabbed everything that I had. Because we never had food like that, you know. We were eating K-ration most of the time.
She put a chicken in a jar.
Yeah, she sealed it and it came good.
Did you get any of it?
Yeah, I got pieces, but when I put it out on the table, the guys were there, they all grabbed pieces of it, you know. It was gone just like that. That seems like such a long time ago.